Today, lawyer and author Mark Silverthorn is helping Canadians deal with their debts through his law firm, which provides comprehensive debt settlement services. In 2011, CBC Marketplace featured Mark in an episode titled Debt Collector Dread.
Your outstanding account and the passage of time. Are you someone who has not made a payment in 1 or 2 years on an unsecured consumer debt? A credit card, a line of credit, some kind of utility bill, or a personal loan other than a student loan? If you answered yes, then I would invite you to learn more about how the passage of time impacts on you and your unsecured consumer debt. There are 3 separate and distinct issues that arise in connection with an unsecured consumer debt and the passage of time. Number 1, your liability with respect to a debt. Can you take advantage of the expiry of a limitation period to perhaps avoid paying an outstanding account? Number 2, at what point does an outstanding account become so old that it no longer has a negative impact on your credit score and your ability to borrow money or to obtain credit? And number 3, what impact, if any, does the passage of time have in terms of whether or not your creditors or their collection agents are able to make payment demands to you? Let's deal with these 3 issues in more detail. Number 1, the passage of time and the expiry of a limitation period. Each province in Canada has a limitation period. The limitation period is 2 years for the residents of Ontario, Alberta, and Saskatchewan. It is 3 years in Quebec and 6 years in the rest of Canada. If you have an unsecured consumer debt and your creditor has not sued you before the expiry of the limitation period in your province, then you have the option of simply not paying it and relying upon the expiry of a limitation period as a full and complete defense. Number 2, the passage of time and its impact on your credit score and your ability to borrow money. Each province has a law that determines when an outstanding unsecured consumer debt is old enough to drop off your credit report. As a general rule in Canada, an unsecured consumer debt will not appear in your credit report more than 6 years after the date of your last payment. This means that as a practical matter, there is no meaningful reason whatsoever why a Canadian would want to pay or settle an outstanding unsecured consumer debt in circumstances where the debt is more than 6 years old. Number 3, when does a creditor have to stop making payment demands due to the passage of time? In British Columbia and Newfoundland, an outstanding consumer debt is extinguished 6 years after the date of last payment. Accordingly, in those 2 provinces, the debt essentially disappears. It goes poof 6 years from the date of last payment, and arguably it would be illegal for a collection agency to attempt to make a payment demand from a resident of British Columbia or Newfoundland more than 6 years from the date of last payment. It is illegal under Alberta law for a collection agency to demand payment of a consumer after the passage of a specific time period unless the creditor has obtained a judgment against the consumer. In the remaining provinces, it is legal for a creditor or a collection agency to make payment demands from a consumer regardless of the age of a debt unless the consumer has exercised some right to stop the collection agency or creditor from calling them. To learn more about the impact of the passage of time on a consumer's unsecured consumer debts, you may want to read my book, The Wolf at the Door, What to Do When Collection Agencies Come Calling, published by McClelland and Stewart, or to visit my law firm's website at www.helpwithcollectioncalls.ca. Thank you.